New York, a beacon of opportunity and progress, faces a stark reality, a burgeoning homeless crisis. The city, known for its towering skyscrapers and vibrant culture, is now grappling with an issue that affects its very core. The streets of bustling cities like New York City, and even smaller towns across the state, bear witness to a growing number of individuals and families without a place to call home. This crisis is not confined to the shadows. It is visible in the faces of those who sleep on sidewalks, in parks, and in makeshift shelters. Recent statistics paint a grim picture, revealing a sharp increase in homelessness over the past year. The numbers are staggering, with reports indicating a rise that has not been seen in decades. Officials and advocacy groups are sounding the alarm, urging immediate action to address this escalating problem. This surge is a stark reminder of the complex societal challenges we face, impacting individuals from all walks of life. Homelessness does not discriminate. It affects people of all ages, races, and backgrounds, highlighting the pervasive nature of this issue. The Coalition for the Homeless, a leading advocacy group, reports that over 100,000 people sleep in New York City's municipal shelter system each night. This number represents a record high and underscores the urgent need for comprehensive solutions. Shelters are overflowing and resources are stretched thin, leaving many without the help they desperately need. This number represents a record high and underscores the urgent need for comprehensive solutions. The shelters, often seen as a last resort, are now filled to capacity, with many individuals and families left to fend for themselves on the streets. But the crisis extends far beyond the city limits. Suburban and rural areas, often perceived as immune to such issues, are also seeing a significant rise in homelessness. The lack of affordable housing and support services in these areas exacerbates the problem, leaving many without options. Upstate communities, often overlooked in discussions about homelessness, are also grappling with a significant rise in need. These areas, with their own unique challenges, are struggling to provide for their residents, many of whom are facing homelessness for the first time. Rural poverty, limited access to affordable housing, and a lack of support services contribute to the growing number of individuals and families experiencing homelessness in these areas. The isolation and lack of resources in rural communities make it even more difficult for those in need to find help. The situation is dire, demanding our attention and action. Community leaders, activists, and concerned citizens are coming together to address this crisis, but more needs to be done. Protests and community meetings highlight the urgency of the situation, calling for immediate and sustained efforts to combat homelessness. Behind the statistics are real people, mothers, fathers, children, veterans, all deserving of our compassion and support. Each person has a story, a history, and a hope for a better future. It is crucial to remember that homelessness is not just a statistic. It is a human issue that requires empathy and action. It is time to confront this crisis head-on and work towards a future where everyone has a safe and stable place to live. By coming together as a community, we can create lasting change and ensure that no one is left without a home. The path forward requires dedication, resources, and a commitment to making a difference in the lives of those affected by homelessness. The roots of homelessness in New York are deep and complex, stretching back decades and influenced by a myriad of social, economic, and political factors. These factors are deeply intertwined, creating a confluence that has resulted in a perfect storm, pushing vulnerable individuals and families into the streets and shelters. At the forefront of this crisis is the ever-widening gap between income and housing costs. Over the years, rent prices in New York City have skyrocketed, while wages have remained relatively stagnant. New York State, particularly New York City, has long grappled with a shortage of affordable housing options. The demand for low-income housing far surpasses the available units, leaving countless individuals and families struggling to keep a roof over their heads. The lack of affordable housing is a critical issue. Many families are forced to live in cramped, substandard conditions, or worse, end up on the streets or in shelters. The competition for affordable units is fierce, and the wait lists are long. The situation is further exacerbated by stagnant wages and rising living expenses, making it nearly impossible for low-income earners to afford even the most basic accommodations. The cost of living in New York City is among the highest in the nation, and for many, the math simply doesn't add up. Beyond economic factors, mental health and substance abuse issues play a significant role in homelessness. Many individuals experiencing homelessness struggle with untreated mental health conditions, making it challenging to maintain employment, secure housing, and access necessary support services. Mental health services are often underfunded and overburdened, leaving many without the care they need. Substance abuse, often a coping mechanism for those facing extreme stress and trauma, further complicates the path to stability. The COVID-19 pandemic and its economic fallout cast a long shadow, pushing those already teetering on the brink of homelessness over the edge. The pandemic led to widespread job losses, reduced work hours, and the depletion of savings, leaving many struggling to pay rent and make ends meet. Job losses, reduced work hours, and the depletion of savings left many struggling to pay rent and make ends meet. The economic impact of the pandemic was particularly harsh on low-income workers, many of whom were employed in industries that were hardest hit. While eviction moratoriums provided temporary relief, their eventual lifting led to a surge in evictions, further fueling the crisis. The end of these protections has left many without a safety net, facing the harsh reality of homelessness. The impact of homelessness extends far beyond the individuals and families directly experiencing it. It places a strain on public resources, affects community safety, and carries significant economic costs. Emergency rooms become overwhelmed with individuals seeking shelter and medical care, stretching already strained healthcare systems. Public spaces, from parks to libraries, are often forced to serve as makeshift shelters, leading to concerns about sanitation, safety, and accessibility for all members of the community. The visibility of homelessness can also contribute to negative perceptions and fuel anxieties about crime and disorder, creating divisions within neighborhoods. The economic burden of homelessness is substantial. Taxpayer dollars are used to fund emergency shelters, healthcare services, and other support programs aimed at addressing the immediate needs of individuals experiencing homelessness. The lack of affordable housing also has a ripple effect on the broader economy, limiting opportunities for low-wage workers to find stable employment and contribute to their communities. Section 4. A city divided. Disparities in homelessness across New York. While homelessness affects all corners of New York State, it is not evenly distributed. Racial and ethnic disparities are glaringly apparent, with Black and Hispanic New Yorkers disproportionately represented among the homeless population. Systemic racism, poverty, and discrimination in housing, employment, and healthcare contribute to these stark inequalities. Families with children make up a significant portion of those experiencing homelessness, highlighting the urgent need for family-friendly shelters and support services. Young people, often fleeing abusive homes or aging out of the foster care system, are particularly vulnerable to homelessness, facing unique challenges in accessing education, employment, and stable housing. Veterans who have served our country are also overrepresented among the homeless population. Mental health issues, trauma, and difficulty transitioning back to civilian life contribute to their vulnerability. Addressing the specific needs of veterans experiencing homelessness is crucial to ensuring their well-being and honoring their service. Section 5. Hope on the Horizon Initiatives, aiming to combat homelessness. Amidst the challenges, glimmers of hope emerge from the tireless work of government agencies, nonprofit organizations, and compassionate individuals dedicated to combating homelessness in New York. These efforts are multifaceted, addressing not just the immediate need for shelter, but also the underlying issues that contribute to homelessness. The city and state have implemented various initiatives aimed at providing shelter, support services, and pathways to permanent housing. These initiatives include emergency shelters, transitional housing, and long-term affordable housing projects. Outreach programs work on the front lines, connecting with individuals living on the streets, offering food, clothing, and information about available resources. These programs are crucial in building trust and encouraging individuals to seek help. Shelters provide temporary housing and access to essential services, such as meals, showers, and case management. These facilities are often the first step in helping individuals stabilize their lives and begin the journey towards permanent housing. However, the demand for shelter often exceeds capacity, leaving many on waiting lists or forced to seek refuge in inadequate and potentially dangerous conditions. This highlights the urgent need for more resources and better infrastructure to support the homeless population. Recognizing the limitations of emergency shelters, there is a growing emphasis on providing permanent housing solutions. Affordable housing projects are being developed across the city to offer long-term stability for those in need. Supportive housing programs combine affordable housing with wraparound services, such as mental health counseling, substance abuse treatment, and job training, to help individuals achieve long-term stability. These programs are designed to address the root causes of homelessness and provide a comprehensive support system. Community involvement and neighborhood revitalization projects also play a significant role in combating homelessness. By fostering a sense of community and belonging, these initiatives help individuals reintegrate into society and build supportive networks. Local businesses and volunteers are stepping up to support these efforts, organizing donation drives, community kitchens, and other initiatives to provide immediate relief and long-term solutions. Their contributions are invaluable in creating a more inclusive and supportive environment for everyone. Success stories of individuals who have transitioned from homelessness to stable housing serve as powerful reminders of what can be achieved through collective effort and compassion. These stories inspire hope and demonstrate the impact of comprehensive support systems in transforming lives. As New York continues to tackle the complex issue of homelessness, the combined efforts of government, nonprofits, and the community offer a beacon of hope. Together, they are making strides towards a future where everyone has a place to call home.